In 2019, there was a very popular dating show in China, and a billionaire CEO with assets of 1 billion yuan appeared on stage. The male guest was wearing a black top, looking very simple and ordinary, just like a poor loser. In order to test whether the women were materialistic, the male guest said as soon as he came on stage, "Hello everyone, I work as a bricklayer in my hometown. I don't have a house or a car at the moment, but I have a sincere heart. I came to this dating stage hoping to find a beautiful and family-oriented girlfriend who is willing to endure hardships with me." As expected, 4 out of 24 lights were turned off by the female guests on stage. Female guest number 10 immediately said to the male guest, "You're dressed a bit too casually, aren't you? I don't like men who have no sense of style. After all, a fashionable girl like me wouldn't match well with someone like you. Besides, you look quite old. With your current situation, I really don't understand where you got the courage to come on this stage for a blind date. Obviously, your conditions are not ideal. You don't have a house or a car. I guess you're already over 30, right? A man your age who still has nothing can only prove that you are not hardworking and lack ambition. How can you be worthy of the ladies on stage?" Female guest number 10 looked proud of herself. The male guest was not angry after hearing this. He quickly explained, "You can't judge a person by their clothes, can you? A realistic girl like you is indeed not suitable for me. Besides, I don't have a car or a house now, but does that mean you can deny everything about my past? Isn't that too harsh a judgment?" Female guest number 10 continued to ask the male guest, "If a girl holds hands with you, do you have any plans to buy a house?" The male guest quickly explained, "Because my job is unstable, and my income is also unstable, plus the high housing prices in big cities, buying a house will still take some time. I want to wait until I've made some money and then buy one. I want to find a girlfriend before I start my business, so we can support each other." Female guest number...
You know how they say, like, a man, whether he wants to know the truth or not, the world is going to remind him he's a loser. This girl just said, you have no ambition, you a lame, you got no drive because you're a bricklayer. This is a crazy story. Man poses as a poor bricklayer for true love, then reveals he's a $1 billion CEO identity. Let's keep it going.
Number 10 looked very displeased and said, "Then come back after you've succeeded in your business." After saying that, she turned off her light. Seeing this, the male guest quickly explained again, "Even if I take out a loan to buy a house now, the pressure will be too much. It's better to wait until my career stabilizes. Also, the current housing prices are beyond what I can afford. I think I should take advantage of my youth to work hard and achieve something big. Once I succeed in my career, the problem of a house will naturally be solved." At this time, female guest number 5 said to the male guest, "Your entrepreneurial passion is commendable, but it's not realistic at all. You can't even provide the most basic level of financial security for a girl. What girl would want to suffer and struggle with you? You said you'll consider buying a house after you succeed in your business, but what if you don't succeed? How will you face that? Also, who would gamble their beautiful life on your uncertain future?" After female guest number 5 finished speaking, she turned off her light. Some other female guests on stage agreed with female guest number 5's opinion. In the blink of an eye, another 5 female guests turned off their lights. At this time, female guest number 1 smiled and said to the male guest, "Your idea is not wrong, but I think you should just go back to the countryside and work honestly. Don't have unrealistic dreams anymore. Just take your current job as an example. Maybe you are struggling even with basic living expenses. What do you rely on to achieve big things? Also, you can't even afford a branded piece of clothing for me. To be honest, one branded piece of clothing of mine costs over 10,000 yuan." The male guest replied, "What kind of branded clothing is that expensive? I'd like to know, where do you work?" Female guest number 1. Female guest number 1 proudly said, "I'm a senior foot massage therapist in a foot bath shop. I earn more than 40,000 yuan per month. A branded necklace of mine may cost as much as your half-year salary. If we were together, would we be walking the streets together after work? And if you plan to start a business in the future and make the girl suffer with you, what if your business fails? Have you thought about how hard it would be for us? I think a man should at least meet some basic standards. If I'm not mistaken, you probably don't even have money for the betrothal gift, right? Then how can you find your ideal girl? The male guest got angry and said, "Are you all thinking that everything should be handed to you without effort? I hope you don't have such thoughts. You should achieve it through your own efforts. Even though I can't give you the ideal life now, to be honest, I can't bear girls who are this materialistic. Because I think simple meals and a peaceful life are true happiness. Only when two people work hard together will they truly develop feelings for each other. Love should not rely solely on one person giving everything. A happy family must be built through mutual effort. If you want to find a rich guy or a tycoon, you should first consider your own qualifications. Why would a rich guy even be interested in you?" Female guest number one's face turned red after hearing this, and she looked at the male guest before turning off her light.
Check the.
The male guest then said, "Although I can't provide material comfort now, I believe I can give my partner a perfect future through hard work." After the male guest finished speaking, female guest number 5 quickly said to him, "You talked about yourself so well. I heard your conversation with the previous female guests. I think you're quite ambitious. I've been observing you since you came on stage. From the way you spoke in the beginning, it's clear that you're someone with a strong career mindset.
Yeah,
I
she.
want to ask you, if we're together, would you buy me a branded necklace or a branded pendant? Because I really like those expensive pieces of jewelry." The male guest replied, "I would never buy those expensive pieces of jewelry. I think such purchases are meaningless. I hope girls don't compare themselves with others." Female guest number 5 looked at the male guest with disdain and said, "You're so stingy." At this moment, a simply dressed female guest still had her light on. The female guest who kept her light on said to the male guest, "I really appreciate your entrepreneurial passion, and I can feel that you're ambitious. I'm also from the countryside. I think rural people are really nice, down to earth and motivated. I deeply understand how hard it is for people from rural areas to work outside. In that regard, I really relate to you. So I hope we can get to know each other better."
Okay, she
The
feeling
host
on.
immediately asked
She
the
might be a
female
little
guest who
genuine.
kept her light on, "Are you willing to hold hands with the male guest?" The female guest directly said, "Yes." The male guest walked to her, held her hand and said, "Thank you for your support. I will make you the happiest queen of the countryside."
Talking.
Then, holding her hand, he said, "There's something I want to tell you. Actually, before coming on stage, I hid my true identity. I'm not really a bricklayer. That's just a nickname. My real identity is the owner of a cement factory, with assets totaling 1 billion yuan." The
Let's
female guests who had turned off their
go.
lights covered their mouths in disbelief.
What's most ironic on this dating stage is not the bricklayer pretending to be a CEO, but the fact that reality has long turned love into a naked auction of wealth. Those girls who turned off their lights weren't choosing a partner. They were bidding for material possessions. They claimed to seek sincerity, but all they saw were property deeds and car keys. They laughed at men without houses or cars, yet never thought about what they themselves had to offer beyond desire.
What they
They
bring to the
rejected
table?
men who were striving forward, but fantasized about marrying into castles. They looked down on the diligent and humble bricklayer, yet weren't even worthy of the sincere and devoted CEO. When someone is willing to honestly show the most ordinary side of himself, only to be met with cold eyes, ridicule, and disdain, then we must ask, are we still living in an age of love, or have we entered a
We not living in the age of love, man. We it's hypergamist, as y'all would say. You know, it's always better when you're equally yoked with someone and y'all both starting from the bottom and y'all could grow together. But look what you got to do when you you cross the finish line already. He had to go on a show in front like he poor just to get somebody that want him for him, not the billionaire bricklayer who owns the cement factory.
courtroom of labels. The saddest thing in this society is not that men don't have money, but that more and more women take marrying well as the ultimate goal of life, forgetting to ask first, are you even worthy of being chosen? Stop overestimating your own charm and stop underestimating someone else's future. What truly breaks hearts is never poverty, but a value system that judges everything through the lens of materialism. You can look down on a bricklayer, but ask yourself, what do you have left besides desire? And ironically, it was the only girl who kept her light on, the one who shared his roots, understood his dreams, and valued his sincerity, who finally walked off the stage holding his hand. What do you think about the prejudice and truth shown on this dating stage? Do you believe true love can really overcome materialism? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We'll keep bringing you more real-life stories and deep reflections like this. See you in the next video.
Now I couldn't have said any better than the narrator. If y'all like when I react to, the dating pool in China, I mean, this is by far very interesting and very engaging. I will do as many of these, but I need y'all to comment, subscribe, and I need y'all to show up and watch these when I react to them. And let me know y'all opinion, most importantly, on this story. Oh, I almost forgot. Do you know where your kids are?